Hello and welcome to the A Quilting Life podcast. I'm Sherri McConnell from A Quilting Life.
And I'm Chelsi from Chelsi Stratton Designs.
And we are here with you today for podcast episode number 132, airing on February 10th, 2025. I am going to just jump in and mention our sponsor, Cozy Earth, who we love. And we've been with them for several years now, loving the sheets, all the products, towels, everything. Just want to remind you that they do have a 100-day sleep guarantee, so you can try out those sheets for 100 days. And if you're not completely satisfied, you can get your money back. There are lots of great colors. We have spring just around the corner, so if it's time for a refresh at your house, you will definitely want to check out Cozy Earth and use our link to get 40% off, or use the code A Quilting Life and make sure you mention that you heard about them from our podcast. Okay, Chelsi has the quilts today, and it's very Valentine's in here.
And I tried to match.
Yeah.
I wore a sweater, so I tried to match. Yeah, so I figured, since this week is Valentine's Day, I thought let's stick with the theme. I have quite a few, not only heart quilts, but just themed quilts. So I gave you kind of both today. I did kind of a heart quilt, but then a non-traditional Valentine's on the table. So on the wall, we have Good Hearted. And this is actually, guys, you ask me this all the time. It's layer cake friendly and yardage. So it's made in our Sincerely Yours collection, and Mary and Bot did the quilting, but I do love the patchwork and the kind of scrappy look that the Good Hearted quilt gives. On the table, we have Afterglow. This is actually a popular pattern. It's really modern and kind of has an ombre effect, so you use all the fabrics in the collection. It's Fat Eighth friendly, and just goes from the lightest prints in the collection to the darkest at the bottom. So this is like typically not traditional. It's just color-based for Valentine's Day. But I do love Afterglow a lot. I love both of these. So that's just kind of some options for Valentine's Day quilts for you for this month if you're looking for something.
Yeah, they're both super cute.
Thank you.
I do have a Moda Minute also. Lisa Alexander was so kind as to send us some samples of the Moda Bella silkies, which I was not even aware of. And so she sent a few colors. This is the one that Chelsi and I use as background for almost everything, the 9900-200, but there's an S after it. So that would stand for
signifies the silky.
Yeah. So I literally can't wait to order. From now on, I'm just going to order the silky instead of the regular.
Really?
I love it. It has the same finish or hand to it that our fabrics do. And so I guess I didn't even realize that there was a different finishing on the regular Bellas.
Yeah.
I
didn't either.
So yeah, these are beautiful. And here's the 98. So, and that's kind of interesting too, to have the 200 and the 98 next to each other.
Yeah.
This one is 182. I think that might be the porcelain. I can't remember.
Yeah. Kind of like a gray color
and this
right
one's
there.
More of a gray. And then this is
creamy.
11.
Ivory?
But no, because this one's 990011S.
Huh.
So some of these are kind of new to me colors too. So
I thought they were sheets on the table.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, they do kind of give that sheen.
The sheen, yeah. Yeah, so something you might want to look for when you're looking for your solids is look for the Bella silkies and ask your local quilt shop if they can order them in. I believe that they don't come in all of the colors, but in lots of colors you'll be able, and definitely the basic colors.
But I love that Moda has all these different options. I guess if you wanted something that was the same.
Yes.
So the one was 990011S. Is that right? So
yeah, these all have the S.
Okay. So I'm on the website here. Well, actually, yeah. This is Fat Quarter Shop, but Silky Bella Solid Snow Silky. is what it says.
Snow.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
snow.
What
number 11.
are some of the other numbers?
So the other numbers are 98,
Okay, that's white bleached.
200, 182.
Don't see that one on here. 182
I wanna know
is
that one.
porcelain.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. And then 178.
Yeah, what's 178?
178 is stone. Etching stone.
Oh, okay.
What?
Yeah, interesting.
That's the same as
light
the
gray.
stone?
Yeah.
We use stone.
Yeah, we've used this for our light gray.
And 200, I do see it here. Chantilly off-white.
Okay, yep.
Huh.
Yeah, so that's good to know that they can.
I want the stone as just like bed sheets.
Yeah, it's a pretty
I
color.
really do. It's a really pretty color.
Yeah.
Are they? So is that fabric, is it going to be more flimsy though?
No.
No?
I think it would be more a little bit weightier because it has an additional finishing process.
That's a
to
good
it.
question.
Okay.
I didn't even think about that.
I just look at
No,
something that looks silkier and
Yeah,
it makes
yeah.
me think it would be lighter, but
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and then one more thing on the table before we go. I just got this from Fat Quarter Shop. I love these little easel stands, and you know me, I'm a blue person. So I was super excited that they sent me the new denim option and very excited about it. It kind of matches my shirt, actually.
It does, actually. It's very, very pretty. I
Yeah.
like the new denim. I got one too. I like the denim color. Yeah, Mom is winning in the blue department. I like your shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank
today.
you.
It does match it.
Thank you. Yeah, so these stands are super helpful for putting your pattern there. You can put a quilt book there.
Recipe book.
You can put it in your kitchen, use it for a recipe. Anyway, they are always coming out with fun ways to stay organized.
You look very coastal today.
Oh,
that's the word.
Thank you.
You know what I'm thinking of.
Yes.
that is the third color they've released of that, right? Because I remember you showing those in
No,
the past.
I think there
No.
might be 5 or 6.
There's
really?
sun, there's
Okay.
pink,
And
there's
aqua, yellow.
yellow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have
so there's
3 of 'em.
multiple, but
I have-
they're pretty much the same. It's just different
Same-
colors.
Yeah, different
Okay.
colors.
I have aqua, pink, and now the denim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Give one to Ashton and one to Harper.
I did. Yeah. Harper has one. She keeps all her little books.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right. Is that everything for what's new and Moda Minute and everything?
yeah. I mean, we're going to have some fun things to share with you in a few weeks coming up, but can't really say anything about that yet.
Okay.
So,
This is my
next
favorite.
episode or a couple episodes
well,
down the
the
road.
next episode, that's really going to stink because
What's the
it's
date?
going to be Monday the 24th, and we can't share until the 28th.
Oh, okay.
Technically.
Technically. We might have to do some type of a
Can you do a small tease maybe?
small tease.
I will say this, though. This just always cracks me up because Mom, you guys know it. Mom's always like, well, we've been working on something. But no, it's really cute. I'm actually pumped about our patterns. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Okay, well, with that, I'll jump into our listener quilts for this episode. The first one here is the All-American
It's
quilt.
All-American.
Yep, and from Catherine. Dear Sherri, Chelsi, and Billy, please see the attached All-American quilt and pillows I made for my mother's 90th birthday using the beautiful Bountiful Blooms fabric.
Oh my gosh.
I am new to quilting and enjoy your podcasts, tutorials, and weekly emails. I have found them to be inspiring and, in addition to being educational, have enjoyed your family stories and sense of humor. Thank you for all your contributions to the quilting community. Sincerely, Kathy.
Thank you. And I love that she made it in Bountiful Blooms because I did that sew along and people either did the Christmas fabrics or the Bountiful Blooms. And it's really pretty. All American is a pattern that really looks great with all fabric collections it does. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Also keep an eye on that pattern for future.
And the little pillows are cool too. They're just
Yeah.
like the mini blocks of one of each of the
That's
blocks.
so cute. Her mom's 90th birthday. I love that. Happy birthday.
And thank you so much for the kind words, too. We really appreciate getting kind emails.
The next one too. Mix and match.
Wait, is that the next one? Did I
Yeah.
put that on there? Oh, yes. Oh, it's 2. That's right. Because she did mix and match and the block of the month. Sorry. Okay. And that is from, let me pull it up here. That's from Vanessa.
It's a good one.
Dear Sherri, Chelsi, and Billy, I hope this email finds you all well. I wanted to take a moment to thank you for the incredible work you do in sharing your quilting journey through your podcast. Your passion, creativity, and generosity in sharing patterns, tips, and inspiration have truly made an impact on so many quilters, including myself. Thank you for those kind words as well. This Christmas, I was able to give 15 quilts to my family members, each one created with love and care. 2 of those quilts were made using your patterns, and even one featured some of your fabric. The joy on my family members' faces when they received these handmade treasures was priceless, and I owe part of that joy to you. Thank you for inspiring and empowering quilters like me to create and share beauty through this art form. I also want to take a moment to share about an organization close to my heart. Quilt for Survivors. We're a nonprofit dedicated to creating comfort healing through handmade quilts gifted to Indigenous survivors of residential schools, day schools, and 60s scoop and other traumas. And so she's part of that organization to donate quilts to that. So I just wanted to mention that there as well. So that's an awesome cause. And the pictures of the quilts obviously will be up there. And it is the mix and match that is using some of your fabric there. I don't think she mentioned exactly which one it is, but I could just tell from looking there that it's the mix and match that has some of your fabric in there as well.
I love that pattern. I'm so glad that she made that one. But 15 quilts, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's like you. That's like you in here.
Well,
that's amazing.
So thank you again, guys, for sending those quilts in.
Thank you.
Awesome job. Thank you again for the kind words. And that's a neat organization that you're affiliated with there as well. So for my little section here, before we jump into today's main topics, I have the last time we filmed 2 episodes. So episode 131 and episode 130 were actually filmed on the same day. So I have some recapping to do from
the first.
I'm excited to hear it.
Back. So we'll start first with episode 130. That's when we did the award show. And I got a lot of feedback that I knew was coming because I guess that episode I sort of finished. It was a longer episode, and I was working on it. What do they call it? Till the 12th hour, the 11th hour. That's the last second, basically.
Last second.
And as I was finishing up, I said, you know what I should have had for this episode was pictures of all those quilts and patterns and different things that you guys gave awards for.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
But it was just,
good idea.
It wasn't going to happen at that point. I had to get it wrapped up and uploaded up onto YouTube, which takes a little time. So I did see a lot of comments like, pictures would be nice. I 100% agree with all those comments. And so for next year, yes, I will have pictures up of our awards that we do. I'll make sure that we have that in advance. So
yeah, I was thinking I should have had you send me a list, and I could have at least put links up to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or that too.
Because they might have wanted to make it or
Yeah. So those, I agree with everyone with that. So next year. Also, I was and Chelsea, there's Chelsi. She knows what's coming.
They backed me up.
A lot of people were like, Billy, why did you cut Chelsi's Pride and Prejudice rant?
Thank you, everyone.
Wants to hear it, wants to know what you said. I know I wouldn't have the video of her saying it anymore. There might be somewhere in a detached hard drive where I could scrounge up the audio. I'd have to go and look for it. I don't remember what episode it was because I cut it out. So, but okay, I'll take the blame for that one too. I guess I should have left.
You know how good it feels to have everyone be like,
justified.
Yeah, Chelsi.
Did you? So you saw some of those comments?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people were like, I love Pride and Prejudice. I would have liked to hear that. So
we'll start a group, you guys.
So there's this show. I have to tell you about this while I'm thinking of it, or I will forget. There's a show that Dad and I watch that we love. It's called All Creatures Great and Small. It's on PBS. You would actually really like it too, Billy. It's a British show and it's based on a series of books, but about this veterinarian. Anyway, the show is just some of the best acting and heartwarming. But anyway, they are advertising a new Jane Austen series on PBS that's going to start in May. So
what is
yes.
it about?
And I can't remember what it's called right now, but at the end of every show that we watch, it's on Sunday nights, they show a little snippet coming in May.
I'm scared.
A new Jane Austen. And it looks really good.
2005 Pride and Prejudice is untouchable. Untouchable.
So, yeah. But anybody out, you don't even have to be an animal lover to watch All Creatures Great and Small. It is just, it's set in, I don't know, like the 40s. World War II is now going on in the series. But, it's just the best acting. And
I like that you guys have your little shows.
Yeah, it's so good. And we watch it. It's every January through February. I think it comes out in the UK in the fall.
Oh, and then it airs
and then
here
it
later.
airs here in the United States later. But it's just such a good show. But yes, there is a new Jane Austen.
Jane Austen is
coming.
Superb.
Yes.
Guys, we must know.
So, and then from the last episode, a couple feedback things we talked about, our goals and things like that. So one thing that got a little feedback was the restaurants. They really liked that idea of trying new restaurants throughout the year.
That was a good one.
Even a few people were like, hey, we come to Vegas quite frequently. Let us know what ones you decide to go to. Maybe we'll try the same ones. And then also talking about, quilting back in 2000, there were some comments of people that said, there were some specialty rulers available back then, not nearly as many as now, though.
Yeah.
There's definitely been, that has progressed over the last 25 years as far as tools and everything like that. So that was a good one. And yeah, I think that's about it. The last thing I'll say is, like I said, I gave a prediction about the Super Bowl in that episode. And I was incorrect in those teams.
I
now,
was too.
This episode, if you're watching it on the Monday it comes out, the Super Bowl was yesterday. But I do know now, we're filming this like the Wednesday before the Super Bowl.
Right.
It's the Eagles versus the Chiefs. So I said, I think maybe the Bills and Lions will be there. They're both out.
Yeah.
So I'll give my updated prediction. I think
your
as you're watching
unbiased
this,
opinion,
yeah,
right?
because, and honestly, a lot of people hate on the Chiefs because they've already won the last two, but this isn't due to that. It's just due to my football analysis that I think the Eagles will win the game.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yesterday.
Prediction here.
That's what I'm, and it's really, like I said, I don't really have a dog in the fight. I'm not
a
Eagles
big fan of either team.
I just think if I had to put my money somewhere, it'd probably
be the
I'd
Eagles.
have to put it on the Eagles this year. So we'll see if I'm right about that. I wasn't even right about who got there, so I could be dead wrong.
We will know soon enough.
Okay, so with that, I think that wraps up everything from the last couple episodes. Thanks for everyone leaving the comments. That helps generate it and show the podcast to more and more people. And honestly, overall in January, I also wanted to just say that usually the beginning of a new year, we do see a lot of people. Maybe a new goal is to get into quilting or to get back into it or, start a new sew along. So I always see like a spike in viewership, but January overall was like a really awesome month for us. Like we saw a lot of people watch a lot of different videos, your tips on what was the last one? It just blanked for me.
To sew your stash.
Sew your stash. There you
go.
Yeah, that video, I think a lot of people were very interested in that. That did great. The new block of the month pattern, everything like that. So thank you everyone for like a really great start to the year and a lot of new subscribers, a lot of new views and everything. So appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
So our first topic today, and it's coordinated a little bit with, was it through the Moda newsletter?
Yeah, so I get the Moda Insider newsletter, which I believe goes out to shop owners.
Yeah, it does.
And there was just some information on there that I wasn't aware of, and I told Billy I want to read just a little bit of this to
inform everyone.
Yeah, inform everyone because I didn't know. I'm sure there's probably
I didn't know either.
Other
she
people
told me this morning.
didn't know. But should I just start with that?
Yeah.
So they sent a newsletter out talking about it was kind of like a Q&A newsletter about the wide backs, which we all know that you love, and which I will say we are going to have some wide backs coming.
You heard it here, guys.
You heard it here with our next collection. Super excited about it. And they do have a different kind of a feel. And so this little email that I got from the Moda Insider explained that. And I'm just going to read it to you. It says, our 108-inch wide backs have a silky feel and finish compared to our 45-inch quilting cottons. How can that be? It says quilt shop quality fabrics like all of Moda's standard 45-inch quilting cottons have a thread count of about 60 to 70 threads per inch. For Moda, that translates to a 120 thread count for our 45-inch quilting cottons. So 120 for your, Sherri and Chelsi off the bolt 45-inch wide collections. But then it goes on to say, but our premium wide backings have a much higher thread count of 200 threads per inch, which explains the difference in the hand or the feel of the fabrics. Yeah, so I just thought that was so interesting that is why those wide backs feel so good. They have a higher thread count.
A higher thread count. And I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did not.
I thought it was the same on the wide backs.
Exactly. So that was just something I thought would be really interesting to share with everyone. And get those wide backs because they're going to be more durable with a higher thread count for the back of your quilt. So
I'm excited. As soon as our new wide backs come in, I'm going to be like,
I know, feeling. So,
no, I think that's awesome that they do that though. It's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so on the topic of thread, something that we cut from another, well, we didn't cut it. It was just, we just didn't get to it in one episode. We filled up the episode with enough time. So I thought, okay, well, you're talking about thread count on backings, but also another topic that we thought about talking about at one point was thread in general. So I know maybe it's not something you can go super in depth with, but it is part of the quilting process that you're using thread in your piecing, you're using thread in your binding, your long arm quilters are using thread. So just wanted to talk about the threads you guys use. I know there's different brands, some ones you can recommend, and sort of the types of what they're made out of. So I guess the first one is, what is your go-to thread that you guys use in your quilt piecing?
Yeah, so we both use Aurifil, 100% cotton, 50 weight. And so if you are familiar with Aurifil, they do the color of this plastic on the spool. That color shows you what weight it is. So all of the 50 weights have an orange. Yes. So, and then, there's a dark red, there's green, there's, depending on the weight of the thread. So we do use the 50 weight, 100% cotton. And what color? Do you remember the number on it?
Is mine 2050?
I can't remember.
It's literally the whitest white. Can you look it up actually? Because I swear it's 2050.
I use a different one. I think I use 2026.
Wait, maybe mine is 2026.
Which is a little bit less of the bright white. It's more of a creamy.
Super bright. I don't like the creamy one. It freaks me out.
And it's 50 weight for you as well, Chelsi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine is 2050.
Well, I have a question while I'm looking that up because it might take me just a sec here.
I mean, I can go get my spool.
Okay.
It's there.
I see.
There's one on the Juki.
I see 2021.
Maybe it's 2021.
Is Aurifil natural white 100%.
Go look and see what color that is.
Yeah, go see what color that one
is. Be on the bottom of the spool.
While I'm doing that, what 50 weight, what can you just tell me? Again, I have no idea about any of this. So what does that mean?
It's
like fishing line.
80 weight, is it just, it's heavier, thicker?
It's lighter than, so when you go down, you get thicker. So the 40 weight is thicker than the 50 weight, and the 30 weight.
It should be on the bottom, Billy. If you lift that spool up.
2021.
That's the brightest one.
Okay. I think I do use 2026.
Wait, why did I say 2050? What is wrong with me?
Though, but yeah, it's just a nice weight. And I actually do use that for piecing and for binding. I just feel like that weight is a good weight for everything. So,
but I have evolved. I get the big spool now.
The big cones.
Yes, because for years I did not. And Mom was like, you got to get the cone. And I'm like, whatever. There is nothing I hate more than running out of thread. And actually, I even more so do not like when my bobbin runs out of thread. It just makes me so angry.
Yes.
I hate it.
Yeah.
It makes me so mad.
That's why I'm so glad my Bernina has the jumbo bobbins. They last a lot longer. That's been nice.
Mom gave me like just bobbins one year. I don't even know why.
Filled bobbins.
So
yeah.
Because I'm like obsessive. There is nothing worse when I'm on a roll, especially when I'm vibing, when I'm sewing. And then it's like, you notice your thread's gone and you're like, wait a minute. How many pieces did I sew with no thread?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
And I see Aurifil 2024 here. That's Aurifil white 100% cotton.
Wait, maybe it's 2024.
I mean, looking on a computer screen here, that looks brighter white than the 2021.
Okay, so then I use 2024. Whatever is the
it's just from a screen
when
here.
I walk into a store, I'm not even really necessarily I'm just looking at how bright it is.
Okay.
Huh. And why do you want it so bright?
I don't know. I think there's something wrong with me. I think I just want things the brightest they can be. Yeah, like what would it matter if it's like ivory? I don't know. I guess I'm thinking Bella 200 is super bright. So I must go with bright.
Huh. Interesting.
Because that's my other question is like looking at your quilt on the wall. So
this is an ivory background.
So do you think you used a different thread?
Yes, I believe I did. I think I did. I don't think I really switched over to the brightest white until I switched to using only Bella 200 background.
So there's an Aurifil 2000 that I used for a long time, which is more of a
It says light
ivory.
sand.
Yeah.
That's what
light
I see.
sand.
I used that for a long time.
Light sand?
That's the name of it. Yep. Aurifil light sand 2000.
I'm a name person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, interesting. I have an Aurifil color matcher that I love that I use when I order colored thread. You know, say I want something to match exactly when I'm binding.
Yeah.
And so I just open that up and it has actual thread samples in it that I can hold up next to my fabric to match. And that's how I match. I just use that Aurifil thread matcher card.
Book.
Yeah, it's like a book that folds out.
Let me tell you guys something though. This is the type of this is the comparison. When you walk into a Home Depot and you go up to the light bulbs, which light bulb are you going to go for? You're going to go for the bright white
Not necessarily.
light bulb. The warm ones freak me out.
Okay, that's your opinion.
That's my theory with the thread.
Okay. So I think it's just it's a preference then.
The lights in this room are switched to bright light.
Yeah.
White.
Oh, and that's good for filming. But I'm just saying it's a preference that you like it brighter than maybe others. So
I'm sorry, this is going way beyond.
No, I think it's fine. That's very interesting about the book that you match, because that's what that was going to be my next question is basically, do you use the thread based on the background fabric you're using?
Yeah, I should have had that sitting on the table in here. Actually, it's in my sewing room. But so when I bind, I match the thread to the binding, not the backing of the quilt.
Okay.
Because the thread's going to be coming
up through the binding.
And so that is what I match
and
it to.
And it hides underneath, but it'll show on the binding. So I notice when Mom binds my quilts, she does that.
Yes. And I also, if I don't have an exact match, I will go lighter rather than darker, because thread will appear darker once you've stitched with it. So if I have an exact match, that's great. But if not, I'm going to choose something lighter.
Okay. And so with those bindings, like those like if you have a green binding, you're probably using a green thread.
Yes.
Right? That's where really you're trying to. Okay.
Right.
And that's why, like in your sewing room, you have so many different colors available on there.
Right.
That's obviously you're not using all those for piecing, but you're probably using those for the binding.
For binding, yeah.
Okay.
And when I do use those colors when I'm sewing, it's often if I'm perhaps quilting something myself, like quilting soft and stable for a bag, and I want the thread to match the fabric.
Yeah.
I won't, if I'm making a navy bag, I'm not going to use white thread to do that quilting. I'm going to go get a navy or a gray off the wall. So
would there be, like, I know you guys don't really do those type of quilts, but let's say you were using a dark background fabric on a quilt, like a dark navy blue or even black or something like that. Then you would obviously try to match the color as well to a darker fabric. You're not going to do a white.
Right. Yeah.
White thread.
And I believe people that sew with more, I'm thinking of Marion, who does so much of our quilting. She's not going to have a white spool of thread on her sewing machine. She's going to have a darker spool because the majority of the fabrics she sews with are darker. And so she's going to use a darker thread for her piecing.
I have an example. So my To the Moon pattern, the little baby quilt with the moons, it has the dark navy background. Val did custom quilting on that quilt. She changes the thread color when she quilts the overall quilt. So if I had a red star, she used red fabric inside the star. If I had she changes that thread per, the color.
Yeah. That's the benefit of getting custom quilting when you have a quilt like that. So they can
switch it up
for
the different parts of the quilt.
Yeah. I just had something, I had quilted the Fig Tree and Company cheater fabric. I had that quilted with the fireside navy on the back. So I had a navy on the back, and that panel on the front is mostly blue. And I think my quilter, Vicky, quilted that one for me. I think she used just a dark gray on the top, and so it mostly blended in. And she did put a navy on the bottom, and you can't even tell that, it just matched perfectly. So sometimes you will use a different thread on the top and a different thread on the bottom too.
And when you do the binding, is that 50 weight as well? Is that what you're using? Yep. So it's the same with piecing and with binding.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And 80 weight then is thinner then. You said the lower it goes, the heavier it is.
So an 80 weight would be thinner.
It would be thinner. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And then I know you get some other, I know you guys use Aurifil, but there's a couple other companies out there, right? That you
so
received
there's Mettler and Superior. There's quite a few companies. Okay. So,
and I remember you also said, I think it was last episode, is that you said, one of the big advancements also from like way back in the day is the thread. And were you talking about the like Aurifil and these type of companies, or were you talking about the thread count like you were talking about earlier, like with the actual fabrics when it comes made?
Probably both. But yeah, I just remember all the years that I was sewing when I was younger. You just went and bought this polyester covered cotton dual duty thread that they had at all the store. I mean, they still have that thread, but yeah, I just feel like it was brittle and it broke easily. And so the Aurifil is definitely a higher quality.
In the last 30 years, it's been a lot better. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, and then the last thing I noticed on here is storing thread. I just actually, I have a rack in my sewing room where I have it kind of in rainbow order. But then I have other threads. I just have a bin in my closet that's full of other threads.
Yeah.
In plastic storage boxes. So.
And I think it just sort of hit me. It may not have been the whole video was about. Actually, no, it is. I just found it. So a video, it's from 4 years ago. I'll link it in the description, have it pop up on the screen too, it's a sewing room organization video, and it's thread storage ideas that my mom did.
Yeah, and I remember doing that.
Yeah, we have that on there if you want to look at some other ways that my mom she has something on the wall, obviously, but then I think you do open up the other
bins.
ways that you store thread. So do you have how do you store your thread, Chelsi?
I just use my thread and buy more thread.
Like you don't have a
I don't even have a container.
Oh, really?
No, I just buy thread until I
keep it in the drawer.
I don't keep Mom binds all my quilts,
bind all her quilts.
I don't need
That's true.
I was gonna say that you probably don't have as wide of a selection.
No.
You probably just have the stuff you use for piecing, or
just for what goes on my machine. Is that awful?
No. It's just what you have.
Yeah. So when I'm about to run out, I just order more.
Now, someday, Mom might just be like, nope, I'm not buying any more quilts.
She could.
Yeah.
She very well could.
That's going to be on you to finish them. So then you might you can watch the video and get some ideas to store your new thread. But,
then I'll be running into problems, guys.
All right. Well, anything else to do with thread that you guys want to
I think we
tackle?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. All right. So then to wrap up this episode, Valentine's Day is later this week. Before we have something sort of fun to finish it off with, but what are some of your favorite Valentine's themed projects or quilts that you've made and that you display every year in February? I'm guessing you guys sort of display these types of quilts like Chelsi brought today in February. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I'm not as good at getting them out. I feel like sometimes I do the big cleanup after putting the Christmas stuff away.
Yeah.
And I just keep everything pretty simple. But I did the last 2 years in a row, I have made, Fat Quarter Shop has a free little Valentine's wall hanging project that they did in 2020.
It's cute.
And 2025. I made both of those. I made the 2024 project with strawberry lemonade, and I just made the 2025 wall hanging with our raspberry summer fabrics and just did the reds and the pinks. So I do those, but I also have a little pillow pattern with XO, an X, and a heart. And I made that several years ago. I always get that out, and I did a matching pillow that has a quote by Mother Teresa, "Do all things with great love." And I always get those two pillows out, and that's sometimes
like it.
It's my Valentine's decor. But our friend Annie, who works at Moda, actually just made a version of my XOX heart pillow. She used raspberry summer, but she also added a border to make it a 20-inch pillow.
Oh.
And it's super cute. So, and she told me she was going to make one for each of her kids so they would each have a Valentine's pillow. I thought that was super fun. But yeah, basically all are sincerely yours.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you had a whole fabric line dedicated to it.
So we do have Valentine's quilts, and I have some blog post roundups with Chelsi's heart patterns and my heart pattern. We both have a lot of heart things too.
I would say I have an excessive amount of
You
heart
have
patterns.
more than me, so yeah.
Okay, so when I first started quilting, my kids were very young, and I was very into the themed Valentine. I felt like it was a stage, right? Like, well, my kids are getting older, and I have found less and less that I'm putting those quilts out. I will put a couple on the girls' beds, but that's kind of, it's very awful. I feel like I'm the same. As soon as like Christmas is over, I just want to deep clean. And so I was excited to pull these two out today because I got to display something.
Yes.
But yeah, I've been kind of awful about it. But I do have tons and tons of heart quilts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I should change out the quilts on my ladders for Valentine's, because I could definitely fill both of these ladders with Valentine themed quilts.
I've been trying to get ready for this next. I feel like because we're in the March bucket pretty consistently the past several years, I'm just moving into getting things prepped for.
Yes.
Like I'm like thinking farther ahead. So yeah, it was fun to pull these out. And I love this collection.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Maybe we'll go back to it someday. I don't know.
Yeah, I still have scraps from this collection that I'm hoarding.
This was a crazy turning point, I feel like, for us as a collection.
Yes.
It wasn't something we'd done before.
Right.
So.
So to finish it off, then I thought of what we did around Thanksgiving time for our start, bench, and cut game with Thanksgiving dinner. But so Valentine's Day, to me, and this is just my personal opinion, doesn't represent everyone on this podcast possibly, but I feel that Valentine's Day is a gimmicky holiday. It's not even necessarily a holiday, but there's others throughout the year. But let me explain why I think it is. First of all, we're going to do start, bench, and cut with 3 different holidays that I find to be on the gimmicky side. So Valentine's Day is one, St. Patrick's Day is another one, and also Halloween. They're gimmicky because they're not like federal holidays, right? No one's getting paid double time to go work on Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's Day. Okay, like it might be for Thanksgiving, Christmas, 4th of July, things like that. It's not like, it's never tied into any type of 3-day weekend where anything like that. It falls on the same calendar day every single year, and it's just sort of up to whoever if they want to do it. So that's what I'm saying. And it's also not tied to any major religious celebrations. And I know there's already going to be people like, well, actually, Billy, if you go back, I understand it. A lot of things are always tied to something many, many years ago, but there's, nothing huge that happens with those holidays with any religious organizations, right? So that's what I'm saying. They're there to make money for retail. Throughout those times, you buy your Valentine's candy and your things, and same with St. Patrick's Day and obviously Halloween candy and costumes and everything. They make money. So that is my spiel on that. I feel like they are gimmicky holidays, but if you had to start one, bench one, and remove one from the calendar, what would you guys do?
Wow.
Okay, we'll let Chelsi go ahead and start. What are you doing?
Can I first say something?
Go ahead.
Billy's wife would be rolling right now because she is the queen of making any type of like costume for a school day for any of these holidays.
Yes.
So she hand makes these costumes for her nephew. So I think it's funny that you're like, these holidays, but Isabel is like the queen of holidays, right?
Well,
and she loves to decorate for all of these.
She loves to decorate.
She loves decorating. But her birthday is right around the corner after Valentine's Day. She's not a big Valentine's Day.
Really?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, she doesn't really careful. I don't know if it has something to do with it being so close to her birthday, but no, she's not a big Valentine's Day person.
That is funny though. But she is very good at it.
She would do decor and help her nephew with all the Valentine's Day cards.
Yeah, she's good at it though.
So,
really good at it.
Yeah.
Okay, with that said, this is so easy for me. Obviously, I'm cutting St. Patrick's Day. I cannot stand that holiday. I just think it's awful, okay? I am benching Valentine's Day, and Halloween, I'm starting in the traditional sense. You give me green and purple Halloween, I will cut that thing so fast. But orange and blacks and pumpkins, I'm starting it. I love fall. Halloween is at least fall. You give me orange and blacks and grays with some pumpkins.
Where was the green come from Halloween? Green and what, you said?
So you know how people love, some
people do green
a
and
witch
purple
with a broom and they have green and purple and all the
Oh.
stuff for Halloween. I can't stand it.
Oh.
It just drives me nuts. So yeah, Valentine's Day I'm benching just because I actually do put out quilts for Halloween. I put out pumpkin quilts galore. So I have to go with starting Halloween. But you guys know I'm not a fan of Halloween. I don't do the costumes and the trick-or-treating, and I'm awful at it.
Okay.
Wow.
But so it's still your starting then?
Yeah, it's still my starting.
Do you send your kids to school with little Valentine's cards?
They get so mad at me. I do every year, but it's the same ones. I just reprint them.
Oh, you don't go buy new ones every year?
No, I don't go buy new ones every year. This year, I was the fun mom. I already went and got Finn some Ninja Turtle ones.
Okay, there you go.
And I got all the candy for it. And then I got Harper some as well, some cutesy ones and with pencils. But because I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to evolve.
You changed this year. You did better.
I changed this year. I'm trying to be just the best mom this year. It's a goal of mine. And I don't love it, but I'm doing it.
Okay.
But yeah, Valentine's Day isn't like, I don't want jewelry or any of that stuff. I'm like, dude, just buy me food.
Yeah.
Like give me some all you can eat sushi, and like that makes me feel loved. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting. So I agree with the cutting St. Patrick's Day. I've never been
Awful.
a really big St. Patrick's Day person. Probably stems from when I was a kid. My dad's his grandmother, well, his mom, my grandmother, was Irish, but she was not Catholic. She was Protestant Irish. And so I will never forget, she was visiting us one time at St. Patrick's Day time, and she made me wear orange to school. And I got pinched like crazy because for her, that was really important to wear orange as a Protestant Irish person. And
Mom's
so
like sharing her trauma as a child.
It was a very traumatic year because I was trying to explain to all these kids.
You don't understand.
My grandma's here. She told me I had to wear orange.
And wait, this was your grandma from what side?
From Bob's mother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your dad's mom.
That is so funny.
Yeah, and her ancestors went from Ireland to Canada and then down to Nebraska.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. So,
this just got heavy.
So, yes, county, lots of Irish ancestry there on my dad's side. And yeah, you're not going to wear green. You're going to wear orange. And
we're cutting it, you guys. We're cutting St. Patrick's Day.
So there's my St. Patrick's Day. Anyway, it's really hard though. I love fall. I would say fall is my favorite season. So I'm probably, but I'm not a Halloween person. I'm a fall person.
See, so I cheated
so
again.
I'm actually going to break with Chelsi here, and I'm going to say start Valentine's Day, bench Halloween, and cut St. Patrick's Day because
You're right.
Valentine's Day is flowery and happy at least. And chocolate, pink.
Sushi.
Yes. Dinner out.
You're right.
If you can get a reservation.
If you can get a reservation.
I was trying to cheat it into saying I'm going for fall, but I see what you're saying. I don't love Halloween.
Yeah.
I just can't.
And there again, maybe it's because I made all those costumes for you guys when you were little and it just like totally...
I was a bad taste in your mouth.
She did. She made all of our costumes, which you think would make me more appreciative of the holiday because I was like, you know.
It's all Billy's fault. That Ninja Turtle costume took 50 hours of my life.
It was legit.
Then I had to do a Spider-Man costume for him, and I had to take a black Sharpie marker and do all the web lines.
All the web lines.
Draw them on the polyester fabric that was...
Which is so difficult.
Stretchy. Oh, yeah. And so I think...
We need a picture of the Spider-Man. I think we have one.
Well, I enjoyed those costumes.
I
because
know.
I could jump into them any time of the year and become those characters.
Did.
Yeah. And they lasted. Your younger brother wore them. And then some of your nephew has worn that Finn wore, right? The Ninja Turtle one.
No.
Did he?
Yeah.
No.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Maybe he tried it on or something. Huh?
We couldn't find it.
Oh, you looked for it, huh?
We looked for I swear.
Oh, okay.
I swear.
Well, anyway.
I wish he was.
I remember my mother-in-law was, because I spent $50 on the fabric for that Ninja Turtle, and this was back in the 80s. And she was just like, she could not understand how I could spend that much money on a costume.
Because she's a mom.
And I did make my oldest granddaughter a Halloween costume. Remember?
Yep, the Elsa one.
The Elsa,
and
yes.
It was very beautifully made.
Yeah, and then after that, I was like, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore.
I mean, she has made so many costumes.
Yeah.
And dresses and whatever.
So, but some people love making costumes.
Yeah. So if that's your thing, you probably love it.
If that's your thing, you love it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll wrap it up then.
Yeah, tell us, Billy.
I'm going to cut Valentine's Day.
Okay.
That's first on the list to do.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I will start Halloween, and I'll put St. Patrick's Day on the bench. I mean, St. Patrick's Day just sort of pops up on you, and you don't even realize. I was I know it's always during March Madness, during the NCAA basketball tournament. It usually falls, if it falls on a Thursday through Sunday, then it's going to be during one of those games and everything. So I sort of associate it with that. But, my grandpa, my dad's dad, he always makes corned beef and cabbage.
So my in-laws do too.
Yeah.
Every year.
Always make it. So that's sort of a tradition. You can always count on him getting the corned beef and cabbage going and everything if you stop by. So, I don't have anything against St. Patrick's Day, but it doesn't become as big of a deal, as Halloween does. So,
right.
Yeah.
So I enjoy Halloween. So that's my start.
Billy's going to be the dad that dresses up with his kid.
No, I wouldn't say I'd go that far, but I'm just.
You will.
I'm just saying I enjoy
I'm calling it now.
The environment around it all. So
Yes.
Okay, well that wraps it up then.
Okay.
Our next episode is Monday, February 24th, and we thank you for joining us today and these fun things. I love that Billy always has something fun for us to do for him.
Thanks so much for stopping by.